Hi friends, Scott Brookins here. I want to share a story with you today. It's the beginning of football season, and not too many people know this about me. I haven't shared it with too many people unless they knew me back when I was in junior high or high school. But I want to share the story of how I became a ball boy for the Denver Broncos. And this will probably be a 2 or 3 part episode, so hopefully you'll enjoy this and tune in. And there'll be some lessons in this also. To give you a little bit of background, and it is football season. And so grew up in Denver, and the Denver Broncos were part of the American Football League, the AFL. They had superstars at that time as they were a separate league from the NFL, but people like Joe Namath, Len Dawson, John Hadel, Lance Bambi Allworth, Ben Davidson, Darryl LaMonica, Willie Buchanan, Otis Taylor, just a bunch of great players from basically the 60s. When Denver expanded their stadium into what became part of Mile High Stadium, my dad bought tickets for the 5 of us, my mom and dad, and my brother and sister and I. And so we had seats up in the 5th level in the nosebleed section on the west side. But we started going to the games probably when I was 8 or 9 years old. And I think we went to some before then anyway. But I was also playing Little League football with the Redbirds. And a shout out to my friend Tim. We started playing Little League football when we were about 7 years old. And so I was playing a quarterback. But one year, I think I was 10 years old. It'd be about 1970. Before the game, I saw some kids, looked like kids from the 5th level, playing catch on the football field. They had Bronco jackets on, and just kind of wondered who they were. And then during the game, through the binoculars that my dad had, I noticed they had an orange X on their jackets or over their jackets. And today we don't have ball boys in the NFL. They're men, or at least young adults. Back in this time period, they were kids, probably teenagers, most of them. And so I was wondering, I wonder who these kids are and how they got down there and what how they got the job. So my dad suggested, he goes, why don't you give a call to my brother's high school football coach, Hal Pfeiffer. He ran the official game clock for the Broncos. And so I gave him a call. I was a 10-year-old kid. I said, hey, Mr. Pfeiffer, my brother Wayne plays football for you. Who are those kids, down on the field, and what do they do? And so he told me they were ball boys. They helped during the game. And he said, you need to contact the equipment manager, Larry Elliott, and see what he says. So as a 10-year-old, in January after the football season was over, I wrote a letter to Mr. Larry Elliott of the Denver Broncos and didn't hear anything at all. The next season goes by, and I'm 11 years old. In January next year, I wrote a letter to Mr. Larry Elliott, the equipment manager. And probably all these letters said, we go to the games. I play Little League. I'm a quarterback. I'd love to work for you. So the 3rd year goes by. I'm 12 years old. We had just won the city championship in Denver. Go Redbirds. And I wrote him another letter. And then just kind of, I forgot about these each year, but it was something I wanted to see if there was any possibility whatsoever that I could be a part of that. And so that next summer, I was 13 years old. We had just moved up to Evergreen in the mountains of Colorado. And probably a July afternoon, I get a phone call at the house. I answer it. And guess who's on the line? It's Mr. Larry Elliott from the Denver Broncos. And he said who he was. And he said, you've been writing me letters for the past 3 years or so. We have an opening. Do you still want to be a ball boy? And it's like, yeah, definitely. And so he said, well, come on down and, we'll sign you up, fill out some paperwork as an employee of the Denver Broncos. And then, we'll bring you in for the exhibition games and in preseason and so forth. So that's where I'm going to stop right now. I got a phone call from Larry Elliott, the equipment manager of the Denver Broncos, when I was 13 years old, offering me the job to be a ball boy for the Denver Broncos. Now, stay tuned for the next couple episodes, because you're going to hear some more details of this and some more awesome experiences as I did this for 6 or 7 years through junior high, high school, and 1 year of college. It was an amazing time. And I just want to encourage you, though, what dreams do you have? I was a 10-year-old that had a dream or an idea of, hey, who are these people down on the football field and how can I be one of them? Had no idea that it could come true. I'm really blessed that it did. I was the only ball boy during that time that was not affiliated with the Broncos in any way whatsoever. Most of the guys I worked with were sons of the coaches or the equipment manager and so forth. So I was the only outsider. So it's just an amazing thing that God allowed happen when I was a young man or young kid. So anyway, think of the dreams that you have in your life. Think of being a child. This isn't about me. It's just, the innocence of a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old kid going after a dream that he wanted to try to get. Not, worrying about it and not being over concerned or what's going to happen if I don't do this or doesn't happen. It was just taking the steps forward, making a phone call, a gutsy phone call to call a high school football coach, write letters, and then, an amazing thing happened. So I hope you'll like and share this video with your friends and family or people that, that maybe have a dream. And stay tuned for the next couple episodes. I think you'll enjoy my experiences as a ball boy for the Denver Broncos. So go have an amazing day. Inspire someone else to do the same. God bless.